It's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors. Hey, have you seen your doctor this year? If you did, there's a very good chance they did a blood test. Ouch! A poke in the arm. The needle goes in, and my blood flows out to the tubes. But my new smartwatch is going to measure my blood sugar. Will this mean I don't have to get jabbed anymore? We all know that blood sugar is done to diagnose and treat diabetes. But what about a low thyroid, low red blood cells like anemia? Will watches prevent me from getting jabbed? What about the tricorder used by Leonard McCoy, sometimes called Bones, in that famous series Star Trek? No poke was needed to diagnose your ailment. So Stanford and Duke University collaborated on a 50-patient research study. Could the data they collected collaborate to give us an idea what a blood test result might look like? Let's have a look at the study. I'm going to go over that with you now and see what they found.
Smartwatches have been credited with saving lives in several states, but researchers from Duke University and Stanford University School of Medicine have shown that they can also predict the outcome of blood tests. Wearable data on heart rate, body temperature, and daily activity can be used to identify early indicators of some illness, as well as forecast the outcome of clinical blood tests your doctor requests during annual physicals or other appointments, according to the researchers, thanks in part to machine learning. Smartwatches can detect changes in your red blood cell count, dehydration, anemia, and even some illness, according to the study, which was published in Nature magazine. Simply put, the study's purpose was to investigate how changes in-person blood tests compared to long-term continuous data obtained by smartwatches. The researchers used an Intel-based smartwatch to track 54 patients for more than 3 years, measuring heart rate, step count, skin temperature, and electrodermal activity. The latter is the same metric used by the Fitbit Sense to measure minute electrical changes in your perspiration. Regular clinical visits were also conducted to collect data on heart rate, red and white blood cell count, blood oxygen levels, glucose levels, and other indications using traditional methods, for example, heart rate monitors and blood tests. According to the finding, some combinations of wearable measurements may be able to provide insight into specific blood tests. For example, researchers discovered that a patient's low electrodermal output or lack of sweat indicated that he or she was consistently dehydrated. They also discovered that prolonged increases in body temperature when combined with a decrease in movement signaled illness, a finding that was backed up by higher white blood cell count in blood tests. Variations in heart rate have been found to predict blood oxygen changes. Lower exercise was also associated with anemia when combined with a greater heart rate. However, the researchers noticed that there were certain restrictions. While wearables can capture a lot of information, a lot of it isn't exact enough to forecast the number of red and white blood cells. Heart rate, body temperature, physical activity, and oxygen levels are also insufficient to precisely detect the ailment you may be suffering from. Nonetheless, these are remarkable results with far-reaching ramifications. While further research is needed, there is a strong possibility that long-term wearable data could aid clinicians in deciding therapy in emergency scenarios. Instead of waiting for lab tests in an emergency room, a doctor might hypothetically supplement that testing with your longitudinal data to try and figure out what's going on. At that moment, few of us have access to such information. The issue with existing in-person clinical blood tests is that you must be obtained in person, which can be invasive. Additionally, these tests only provide you a snapshot of your health, specifically your health on the way to your doctor's office. Random things like when you ate last, or if someone stressed you out on the way to the doctor, can affect your results. In a statement, Jesslyn Dunn, assistant professor of biomedical engineering at Duke, stated, "There is a circadian swing in heart rate and body temperature, but these single measurements in clinics don't capture that natural fluctuation. However, gadgets such as smartwatches and Fitbits can track these measurements and natural changes over time and determine when there is a deviation from the natural baseline." Scientists and researchers are well aware of this wearable advantage. Several experiments were launched during the pandemic to explore if smartwatches could identify cases of COVID-19. Although the results of those researches are still being compiled, there is reason to assume that wearables could play a role in determining how to deal with future pandemics. Beyond FDA-cleared ECGs and abnormal heart rate alarms, we're also seeing firms like Apple, Samsung, and Fitbit go into sophisticated health features. Apple and Samsung, for example, are said to be working on non-invasive ways to test blood glucose levels for their next generation of smartwatches. Fitbit has also made little attempt to hide the fact that the company has been working on a solution to diagnose sleep apnea for years. There are still significant obstacles to overcome before somebody can diagnose themselves by looking at their wrist. More clinical research is needed and sophisticated features that will need FDA approval before they can be used by the general public. Furthermore, medical experts are still finding out what to do if a patient shows up for an appointment and presents them a PDF with random data. Wearables will never be able to take the position of a doctor or other medical expert. Nonetheless, research like this holds a lot of promise. In a press release, research co-author Michael Snyder, chair and professor of genetics at Stanford University of Medicine, said, "I think this is only the beginning. Devices are getting more sensitive and capable than ever before. People will be better equipped to grasp what is going on with their own health in real time as technology advances, just by wearing their wearable devices."
That was pretty interesting, wasn't it? So will smartwatches prevent you from getting jabbed? Well, in the short term, your blood sugar for sure. But for other tests, it's going to be a little while and a lot more research. Will all the data that we're collecting on these smartwatches be valuable to your medical professional? Well, probably. Again, further research needs to be done. But we are getting so close. Let's look at two articles I reviewed last week. Engineers at Purdue University have developed a method for converting existing cloth items into battery-free, machine-washable wearables. These smart garments are wirelessly charged via flexible silk-based coil sewn into the fabric. In the not-too-distant future, all of our clothing will be intelligent. These smart garments will outperform passive garments due to their miniaturized electronic circuits and sensors, which will enable you to communicate seamlessly with your phone, your computer, car, and other machines. This intelligent clothing will not only increase your productivity, but will also monitor your health status and even call for assistance if you are involved in an accident. The reason that this is smart clothing is not yet ubiquitous in your closet is that its fabric is quite challenging, as clothes must be washed on a regular basis and electronics despise water. Purdue engineers have developed a new spray sewing technique for converting any conventional cloth into battery-free wearables that can be washed. The technology industry has consistently improved its foldable displays over the last few years, resulting in a plethora of durable options for smartphone and tablet users. Naturally, the next step would be to create a screen that is not only flexible, but also stretchable, which Samsung has recently accomplished. According to a press release from the Samsung Advanced Institute of Technology, or SATE, a team of researchers has developed a new stretchable electronic skin that can be stretched up to 30% without compromising the integrity of the components. It even includes a built-in heart rate monitor that displays your heart rate directly on the OLED display. Now, you know the routine. You know the click the like and subscribe to the channel. Please do that for us. It really helps us make these videos and keep you updated on medical technology. Till we see you again, Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors.
All right. Hewie, are you ready to roll?
Absolutely. Make sure I have my sound turned on.
Yeah.
How to pin applications and files to your Windows taskbar to access them easily. I'm Hewie Poplock. How to pin applications to the Windows taskbar. Pinning an application to the Windows taskbar only takes a few clicks, and you can do it directly from the Start menu. First, let's click the Start button or the Windows key on your keyboard. Clicking the Start button opens up our menu. Locate the application that you want to pin to the taskbar and right-click on it. We're going to take Word and we're going to right mouse click on it. In the menu that appears, hover your mouse over the word More. Click on the Pin to Taskbar. If we click once on the Word icon on the taskbar, it opens our Word application. How to pin files to the Windows taskbar. You can pin files to the Windows taskbar as well. However, it takes several more steps than pinning an application because you need to manipulate Windows programming slightly. First, we need to open the File Explorer, then go to where the file is that we want to work with. Click on the View tab, and then click on the File Name Extensions so that a check mark appears in the box next to it. Notice there is no extension on our file name, but when we click this box, File Name Extensions, it now put the extension for that document, which is a docx file. By default, Microsoft has the file name extensions unchecked or turned off. I recommend that they be turned on. So just by checking that and leaving it, if it wasn't it before, you'll have it always checked. And when you check it in one place, it does affect the entire computer. So you'll have your extensions wherever you go in File Manager. When the file name extensions are visible, they will appear at the end of the file name. Right-click on the document you want to pin to the taskbar. In the menu that appears, click on Rename. That's down here. Right-click on the document and select Rename to change its name. Change the doc or docx file extension in your document to exe. So what we're going to do is come over here and we are going to change that to exe. And then press Enter. When you do, A small window will appear warning you about changing the file extension. Click Yes. So it says if you change the file extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? We're going to click Yes. Now the file name is our example.exe. Changing a file's extension can change the file type itself. Now, right-click on the document, now a exe file, and click Pin to Taskbar right here. I click it, it put it down in the taskbar. Your document will now appear in your taskbar as an application. Right-click on the application. A submenu will appear. You right-click on that, click Properties. In the Target field, change the file name so the exe is replaced for whatever the original extension was, which was a docx. So you want to change the file name in the target field to match the original extension. Click the Change Icon button and click the icon that you would like to choose. You're going to have lots of choices. Let's look and see what we've got here. And we're going to try to find one. This one looks like a document. We're going to choose that. I'm going to click OK. You'll see it right here. So pick an icon you'll associate specifically with this document. Before you click OK or Apply in the Properties window, return to the File Explorer, rename the original file so that its exe extension matches its original extension. If you remember, that was a docx. Again, it's going to come up with this window warning. You're going to say yes. Now we have it back to a Word document. Now we're going to return to the Properties window down here. Now we can say Apply and then OK. Now there's one problem, and that is if we close this, you're going to see down here in the taskbar, it's the original icon. If we click that, it will open our document. However, in order for that icon to change, we have to either sign out of your Windows account and sign back in or reboot. We're going to do that to show you what it's going to look like. I can't continue the recording. I am going to stop it, reboot, and then restart the recording so that you can see the new icon in the taskbar. We have restarted our computer. You will see that the icon now has been changed in our taskbar. We can take that icon and we can drag it to a different location on the taskbar, so it's always there in a place where we know to find it. If we click on it, it opens up the document with one click. That's the advantage of having it in the taskbar. You can find it easily, but it also will start with one click and it will open. You can work on that document, close it, save it, and the next time you open it, the changes will be saved. You can continue to work on it. And when you finish that project and you no longer need it in the taskbar, if you right mouse click on it, you can unpin it from the taskbar. When you do, it goes away and it's gone. So you've learned how to pin an application to the taskbar and to pin a file to the taskbar. Thanks for joining. I'm Hewie Poplock.
It's Ron Brown from Silvercom Computer and Technology Club. Today, I'd like to discuss how to install Android apps on your computer. Apps on a Chromebook can be installed from two places: the Chrome Web Store or the Google Play Store. Chromebooks made in 2017 or after will have the Google Play Store installed. Chromebooks before 2017 will have the Chrome Web Store installed. Let me show you on my Samsung Chromebook Plus what it will look like. Here you'll see I have both. I have the Web Store and I have the Play Store because my computer was built in 2017. We now are going to go to the Web Store, the Chrome Web Store, and you will see there are extensions, there's themes, and there's apps and games. These can all be installed on your Chromebook from the Chrome Web Store. All Chromebooks will have this on them. If your Chromebook was built after 2017, it will also have the Play Store installed. Click on this, and this will bring up the Android Google Play Store. This is exactly what you would be seeing on your Android phone with games, apps, movies, etc. that you can install on your Chromebook. Chromebooks can run both the web version and the Android app. This is a huge advantage in having a Chromebook. I want you to look at the bottom of your screen in the red rectangle. You're going to see two icons of Google Photos. Confusing, right? You are going to see two icons of PowerPoint. Let's have a look and see what these are. You'll see the Google Photos. You'll see the Google Photos is a white circle with the Google Photos icon in it. And then you'll see the PowerPoint with a white circle around it. What is the difference? The ones with the white circle are the apps. So now you're seeing we're bringing up the Google app. Now, in most cases, the apps are more functional than the website. So when I click the second button here, it brings up the web. So this is Google Photos on the web. And this is Google Photos with the Google Photos app. Now you can see the same thing when I show you the PowerPoint. PowerPoint white circle is an app which we bring up. And the other one is the PowerPoint Online. Again, the difference between the two, one is an app and one is the online version. A very popular app is called Snapseed, and this is a photo editing app that we use in Google Photos. It is only available as an Android app, which is difficult to use on a small cell phone. This is an extremely big advantage when you're using this on a Chromebook because you have a big screen and can use this very popular app with a keyboard and mouse. You'll see Snapseed here is installed on my Chromebook. I'm able to bring it up and open the app. I'll bring in a picture. And here you'll have all the tools that you can use to edit your Google Photos picture with the Snapseed app. Enabling Play Stores in settings, I wanted just to go over the settings within the Play Store for Android apps. Let's go to our settings, and we'll come up to settings, and we're going to scroll way down until we come to the Google Play Store. Now, you should have this installed if your Chromebook was 2017 or later, and it should be turned on. So when we go to the settings now, we can manage our Android preferences here. When you click on this, you'll see all your Android preferences that you can turn on or off. And I'm not going to go through all those menus. I'm not sure why you would ever want to do this, but you can remove all your Android apps in this tab here. We're going to certainly cancel that. I wouldn't want to do that. But this is where you can turn on and off the Google Play Store. If you are new to a Chromebook, you will need to install your Android apps. The Android apps on your phone are not automatically installed on your Chromebook. And also, please remember to make sure you update the apps. In summary, install apps from 2 locations on a Chromebook. They can be installed from the Chrome Web Store and the Google Play Store, depending on the age of your computer. It's Ron Brown with Silvercom Computer and Technology Club. Enjoy your Chromebook.